Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Miss Anime, and this is the weekly anime roundup, and you already know what's gonna happen and what this is, so we might as well just get right to it. So, I'm not entirely sure, I don't exactly know what's going on. Maybe I missed something, or maybe I just, maybe I haven't been paying attention. They mentioned something about human experimentation, so maybe they're saying that, somebody hired Hazel to, make people into demons. I don't know why they'd want to do that. Maybe we'll find out I hope we find out why they'd want to do that. I don't know what it has to do with this town, because, Goku and the three who weren't with Sanzo end up in this town, of demons. And it might be that this town was, supposed to be experimented on, and then, when they realized the town wasn't useful anymore, they, bombed it. I don't know. Or maybe it was just because of discrimination. I really don't know. And then there was the girl who, I genuinely don't understand this. And it's sad because in the past, the series has been really good, but this one is just kind of okay. Although I'm interested to know the ramifications of breaking Hazel's pendant, because that's the pendant where he keeps all his demon souls. So I wonder if that means that all the people he's brought back to life are going to eventually instantly die, or fall apart because there's nothing to hold them together anymore. So that should be interesting. But other than that, I can't really fathom this, but I've seen much worse. So I'm starting to get a little bit worried about how possessive Sasuke is. Like, the last time I forgave it because, it was a one-off thing, but then in this episode, he literally walks into he follows Miyano into a room and he locks the fucking door. So that it's creepy, and I guess I kind of see his point, in that Miyana's going out of his way for everybody else, but but the thing about that in his statement about how he hesitates for me, he's still figuring out his feelings for you. He doesn't get, and that's one of the things I like about this show, and that's one of the reasons I don't hate the slow burn in this series in particular, because normally I can understand why people don't like slow burn romances, but in this series in particular, I'm okay with it, because it's more along the lines of, Miyano's never even looked at a dude before, so it makes sense that he would take a while to, finally realize, oh my god, I like this guy. And I'm glad that they finally established, I'm glad that he finally says out loud, oh my god, I have feelings for him. So that's progress. The possessiveness is kind of weirding me out, but, so far, we have 3 episodes left, and I'm erring on the side of, well, it's not as, I don't know. So, I'm really glad we're actually getting some, real character development. So far it's about just some random all over the place plot points. It's really cute that, like with Miyano, Vanitas is finally like, oh my god, I like this girl. And he's freaked out by it. He doesn't understand because, he's never experienced this before, so he's describing being in love, and and everybody else who's listening to this and they're going, wait, that's it? They're all kind of confused because they thought something was actually wrong. He calls it a curse. He says she cursed him. And they're all like, oh my god, did she curse you? And then he describes it, and they're like, oh, that's it? It's actually really cute, and I wish more of the series was like this, because the vampire parts are just kind of confusing me. Also, I didn't realize this was written by the same guy who wrote Pandora Hearts, which is why the art seems so familiar, and the art looks so, I'm like, this character's designs look really fucking familiar. That's why they look familiar, because he wrote Pandora Hearts. I actually still need to finish that show. But anyway, I hope they actually do something with this, because at the very least, we're getting some form of plot with this development, so that's better than nothing. So, we already knew that, Kazuki's motives were not entirely pure. And we knew that, it was connected to Ojiro some way. But I'm interested to know why exactly, what he did to want revenge on him. Maybe it was just because he killed Shun, but I think it's something much deeper than that. I think there's another reason, And this also brings up an interesting point of how are they going to be a cohesive team if one of their members, is only there to use them as bait, basically. I really like, God, what's his name? Yoneda? I think that the one in the mask, I really like him. I like his personality, and I like the fact that, we haven't had any really, ow, I banged my knee, ow. We haven't had any really psycho villains in a long time, so, I've been missing those in shows, so I'm really, really, really glad that, we're getting some, and he's a lot more subdued, but it's basically like the main character of Classroom of the Elite if he was completely psycho, and I actually kind of like that, even though I didn't like the main character from Classroom of the Elite because his flat affect just really bugged me. So, we find out that the graffiti hacker or the woman who is the mysterious person that they're all looking for is the employee of one of the bigwigs, and I don't fucking care, because I'm sitting here going, and I said this in the last video, at no point have you, actually demonstrated me what the problem is with this system. At no point have I actually, cared or connected to the system to any of the only reason I'm interested is because this vision, and they finally show us another vision. They still haven't brought back the superhero bullshit, but they finally showed us another one of these visions, and basically, according to one of these visions, somebody is going to die. Somebody has to, is going to go up to the roof and basically get themselves electrocuted, and I don't think they told us who it was, so I'm interested to know that. I'm interested to know if, maybe it's one of the main characters, or maybe it's the woman. I don't know. That's the only reason I'm interested. And plus, we have, 3 episodes to go, so I'm just kind of writing it until the end at this point. So, now we know who is behind the assassination attempts, and again, I'm just waiting for them to, fight Yumu over there and be done with it, because I really hope that nobody else big name or nobody else I really like shows up, because I really just want to be fucking done and over with this series. I'm trying to be, on the more positive side, there's mystery, and, who is this guy, and, but I really don't care at this point. So, I will give this show some credit. The idea of, this goddess inside the main character who, is trying to, I don't know if she's trying to protect him or she's trying to push him to become, Blackstone. I don't know yet, and they're trying to, retrieve her from inside. That's actually kind of interesting. At the very least, it gives us something to work with in terms of plot concepts. So, I'll give this show that. I like the villains. I think they're I like their, I like the hooded one's personality. I'm not sure. I think Nano is the one in the fox mask, but I don't know the other one's name. I like them. I hope they stick around for a while, because at the very least, they're kind of something to look forward to. Otherwise, I don't really know anything about the main characters, and this is probably going to be another show I just watch for the villains. A couple things to unpack here. First of all, I like the fact that this show is actually finally giving Milo something to do. Although I'm a little annoyed that, in the end, he still had to have somebody else come and rescue him. I wish they'd figured out a way to just let him figure it out himself, because honestly, I want the series to get to a point where he realizes he can't be reliant on Bisco, and he needs to be able to plan for shit on his own. But more importantly, I actually kind of called Arakawa previously being a mushroom keeper, because the level of knowledge he had about their habits and the fact that, he was so bent on getting rid of them made me think, well, maybe, maybe he was one, and maybe something happened which made him realize that, we need his speech about, them out the government wanting to profit off of them. Maybe that's what happened to him. Maybe, he was a mushroom keeper, but the government decided that, he realized that they were just using him for profit. So now, he hunts them down, because that's he's come to realize that that's how the world works, or something. That's interesting. But the most notable part is the fact that, remember, the puppet room is fucking terrifying. Like, it's terrifying not just because you can't control your actions, but because you're entirely conscious. Like, it's not mind control. You're entirely aware. They're not enslaving you. You actually know what you're doing, and you can't do anything about it. And that is extremely creepy, and I'm have a feeling they're going to do something with that further in the future, because that is a very concept. This series is picking up a little bit, and I'm really glad about that. I still don't love it. I still worry that, it's going to be kind of directionless, but at least stuff happened, so that's an improvement. So what's interesting to me here is the fact that they're giving another character besides Maureen a chance to shine, and I'm really glad about that, because the sister, Juju's sister wanting to get into cosplay is, it's nice, and I initially thought that they were when they were like really surprised they were introducing a new character, but no, she and then we find out that she asked him to help her set up, and it's cute. Not much more happens here, but it's nice to see her in the spotlight for a little bit. Other than that, the usual cuteness, and also I like the fact that they didn't bring up Marin's crush on what's his face, Gojo this episode, because, well, I personally feel like that should take a backseat to the cosplay, but that's just me personally. So, this has given me Zale flashbacks, and I'm gonna bet that the 6 or 7 Goha siblings are either reincarnation to the sorcerers, or, descendants, or they're somehow related to them, because, there are 7 of them. So it would make sense for them to, be connected to this legend somehow. And somehow the one wants to destroy the roadmap. I don't know why. And then, at least we find out that the ninja people are the ones responsible. I know this sounds really stupid. When you say it out loud and when you rehash it, it sounds really fucking stupid, doesn't it? It sounds really stupid. So the ninja people are responsible, and they enslaved the bug people, so that it sounds really dumb. But at least it's something. At least it's better than nothing, because so far the series has just been kind of treading water. So, we already knew that she was Nina, and we already knew that he was Carl. Like I said, I refuse to call him Kal-El. The scene where the students made graves for their fallen compatriots, was nice, and where, Michiru just completely fell apart because that was actually kind of sad, but that's really the only thing I care about in this show. At this point, I'm just like, again, as I've already said, Claire establishes that she's Nina. We already knew that, but other than that, this show has never really made a case for why we should hate her. Like, okay, she might have killed his parents at some point, but other than that, we don't know a thing about her. We know she can control the wind, and we know, like I said, we know she might have killed Carl's parents, but other than that, we don't see anything to establish her as a character. You know, is she a terrible dictator? Is she, you know, responsible for human sacrifice? Does she eat babies? We don't know, because we haven't actually seen anything of her other than these little flashbacks. Part of me hopes that the show will info dump and, you know, just explain outright why he hates her, but I don't care. I really don't. And in a better show, Sonya quitting her job because she's like, you know, I don't want you to keep sending these kids out into battle. It makes sense, and in a better show, I would much more enjoy it. Okay, so the episodes in this show have ranged from really stupid to mildly creepy, but I am genuinely shocked that this. I know this show isn't specifically designed for children, right? But so far, this show has been moderately PG. People actually got eaten in this episode. Like, I was literally, and I'm not saying this because it's a bad thing. I generally, this is one of their better episodes. Also, I like the fact that the Digimon in this episode was a woman. That's not something, or a female. That's not something we've really seen from this series yet, in terms of their antagonists. But I'm genuinely shocked that this got past the censors, because this was just extremely fucked up and, like, really, really, really disturbing. Also, this confirms something I've been saying for a while, that the Gulas, I think it is Gammamon, the split personality, only comes out when Gammamon is in extreme danger, and there's no other way out. Like he was about to be eaten, like actually literally eaten. So it's kind of, to me, seems like a defense mechanism. And I swear to God, I could be wrong, but that Digimon you see silhouetted, I swear to fucking God that was Terriermon. I could be wrong. Maybe that was the big, whose name I can't remember. I can't remember his name now. The one that follows Rory around. But no, I swear to God that was Terriermon. It looked like him, but I don't know. We'll see. Well, no, it wasn't Terriermon. It was, God, the one who Terriermon evolves into. I forget what it's called, but we'll just have to see about that next week and see where the show goes.